Take 8. Hate technology. Okay, so my Facebook Live didn't work. I'm not sure why. But what I had you guys do is ask questions on my private Facebook group and on my Facebook, and I wrote them all out, and I'm going to answer them all. And I hope that this helps a lot. I think it will. Tomorrow is a launch of my 21-day challenge. I love my 21-day challenges because it's a great way to detox in a safe way. I hate detoxes that I see where people are not eating and they are just running on a treadmill, which is a lot of people when New Year's comes around. And that's just really frustrating because what happens is it doesn't last and it's not good for your body. And my goal is with the 21-day challenge to teach you how to nourish your body, to fuel your body, and to work out in a way that's going to be fun and effective. And I don't think it means jumping on a treadmill. I think it means getting strong. And I will have some strength training programs available launching soon. We have a couple videos that we are missing for demos, so I'm filming those a little bit this week, but that strength training, 6-week strength training program is going to launch next week. But as far as my challenge videos, my workouts are 20 minutes or less, and you just push yourself really hard and you can get your heart rate spiked really high, and those kind of workouts are incredible. You of course can do your own workouts if you have them. This is more of a nutrition challenge than anything, and I mean, for me, when I change my nutrition, I change my body. You can work out all you want, you can lift weights, you can do whatever, but until you really look at the food you're eating, you will not see results. And so I think it's so important with this challenge to learn what real food looks like and what it means to be fat adapted. So we'll start there. So, well, first, biggest thing, use the Facebook group, but use it responsibly. What I mean by that is I've done these challenges for a long time, and if you have a question, it's probably been asked before, and my ambassadors, who are these amazing select group of people that help me, are incredible, and they do so much for me, and they help with answering questions when I don't see them, because there's a lot of you guys and they are so awesome, and they do this just because they love it and because their lives have been changed because of this challenge. So thank them and be nice to them. They do this completely on their own accord, and I'm so appreciative. And if someone does help you out and you are thinking about buying a shirt for my website or a challenge or the strength training program, use a link that they have posted or ask them for a link, because every time someone uses their link, they get a little kickback as a thank you from me. So I just think they're wonderful. Thank you, ambassadors. If you have a question, search for it in the Facebook group or look through the PDFs, look through the documents, because everything is there. Like everything. So I just take a couple minutes and look through that before you ask. Okay, the strength program, we're going to talk about it in just a little bit. I feel like with the strength program, it's so awesome to have something to do when you're at the gym or when you are looking to get strong, because a lot of people just don't know really what to do. And so as much as I think the 20 minutes or less workouts are fantastic for beginners and just to get moving, and when you're traveling, those are awesome. You guys know that I love strength training because I do it all the time. So I want to provide you guys with that. So that's an additional thing. You can add that on. We'll launch those in a week. Really excited. There's going to be one for at home. If you have an M pack or dumbbells, a strength training program, there's going to be one called Burn. So it's more about leaning out and toning up and really just getting comfortable under the barbell and learning some new moves. And then one that's called the Tank, and you're just basically just to get strong and gain weight. So that's 3 different tiers. Most of you guys will know either the at home or the Burn, but anyway, more on that to come. It's coming. I wish it was ready now, but if I rush it, I just think you guys won't have all the things that you need, and I want to make it perfect because I'm really stoked on this. Okay, then moving on. So how this challenge works. You will get a daily email starting tomorrow morning. Every email has a video. What you're going to do is click into the video. You'll be signed in. You can just make sure you're staying signed in, and you comment on that through the website. So my website, emilyschraub.com, it has the forum. You can just go to my challenges. You'll get your daily message, your past messages, your resources, your meal plan. Everything is there. That's how you log points every night. You have 48 hours to log points, so don't forget. You're going to be logging points for, make sure I get them all, 10 points of 1 point for 10 minutes of movement or mobility a day, my workout or yours. No alcohol, no sugar. The only thing, the sugar is not necessarily what's in the box, the nutrition facts, it's what's in the ingredients list. So no sugars like evaporated cane juice and brown rice syrups and high fructose corn syrups and anything that's a sweetener we're avoiding except stevia and honey. Um, I do think monk fruit is okay, so that's another one that but don't go like search it out. The goal is to cut your sugar addiction, and you can't replace. Of course, you can replace anything with anything. So like, oh, I replaced my candy bar with like a massive tub of honey. That's not the point of this challenge. So keep that in mind. You will get your best results by not replacing things with other things. But I do like honey and stevia because it makes things more sustainable. And my goal is to make this as sustainable as possible because I don't care about day 20. You know, of course, I do care day 1 to 21, but I really care about day 22. Like, I want this to stick with you guys. And just by making it too restrictive, that cannot be good. So also, no gluten. So it's not going to be grain-free, but I'll talk about that in a second. If you are doing the keto, then you are going to do grain-free. You're going to take fish oil every day. You're going to drink 1/3 of your body weight in ounces of water. You're going to follow the daily task. You're going to interact with I'll say in the video, like, comment below, and you'll comment below in the website. And then you're going to check in with your buddy. So you need to find a buddy, whether it's a friend or a sister or a coworker. This is so much easier to cut sugar when you're doing it with somebody. So it's important to have somebody there. If you don't have a buddy, then you'll go to the private Facebook group and find one. There's people looking. Okay, where should I start? Okay, so my goal for you guys is, everyone talks about snacks. I totally get it because I love snacks, but this is a diet that, whether you're doing non-keto or keto, which is ketogenic or non-ketogenic, you're doing higher fat. And fat is such a preferred source of fuel for your body. Sorry, this lighting is kind of going crazy. Because it sustains you. And so that means that you eat a meal and you're not going to be hungry for a while. So my goal is to get you to be used to eating 3 meals a day. It's going to be weird for you, but when you do that, you're actually sustaining your blood sugar, and it's so amazing what can happen when you do that. You're not going to have dips in energy. You're not going to be depending on food for energy. And when you can fill your body up with good fats, then you become a fat burner instead of a sugar burner. And that's really important, not just for weight loss and for people that are struggling with crazy metabolisms, but in regulating that, but just really feeling your best and feeling like you're functioning well and your brain is working well. And so many of us are so afraid of eating cholesterol and eating fats, but that's so necessary for our body. So this diet is about eating more fats and eating a lot less sugars and a lot less carbs. Your meal plan that you have is keto, so mostly keto. So the breakdown for that, even though this will be in a resource posted soon, hopefully by tonight, give or take, your body is, when you're doing keto, you're trying to do 75 grams of carbs or less a day. I won't talk about too much calories because with keto, I don't like counting calories, because if you're eating high fat, you eat a meal, my goal is for you to eat 3 meals, and the breakfast can look like butter coffee or like the meal plans that you have. But when you just aren't hungry, you just don't eat, because fat is very filling and very satisfying, and it's higher calorie. And so I don't really worry so much about calories when it comes to when you're eating good fats, because your body will tell you when it's hungry. So the only macro that I care about with keto is just making sure we're not too high in carbs. Of course, we'll talk about protein in the videos to come. We'll talk about more fat stuff and things to come. But don't worry so much about macros. Just follow the meal plan, have your butter coffee, eat when you're hungry. When it comes to non-keto, that's a little bit different, because when you're replacing fats with carbs, you need to make sure we're not doing too high fat and too high carb. So this is give or take, and this is like a lot of info. Usually, this is based around an 1,800 calorie diet. Carbs 135 grams, give or take. You could definitely go less, 100 to 135. Proteins around 135, and that would mean your fat is around 80 grams. And so that's definitely, like with butter coffee, you would just blow that out of the water. So I'm not a huge believer in doing non-keto with butter coffee, because it's very easy to kind of overdo everything with that. But what it would mean is you're basically at every single meal, so say you have 3 meals, you're eating about 40 grams of carbs at each meal. And so that could be the oatmeal, it could be the rice, it could be some fruit, it could be some butternut squash or extra potatoes, those kind of things. Again, don't overthink this. If you don't know what to do, just follow the meal plan. You're cutting out so much gluten, sugars, alcohol, like seriously, you're gonna feel good. So don't overthink it. Okay, moving on. What is butter coffee? Just in case. A cup of hot coffee. You blend it with a tablespoon of MCT oil or coconut oil, or a tablespoon of ghee or grass-fed butter. The reason I love butter coffee is because it puts you in ketogenic state very quickly, but it still puts food in your stomach. And so when it comes to working out, no matter what version you're doing, do not work out without food in your system unless you're doing cardio only, like running or swimming or one speed cardio. When your body is in cardio state, or not cardio state, when your body is in an anaerobic state or you're doing circuit training or HIIT training, your body demands glucose. And so your body can really stress the adrenals if you don't have any fuel in your system. So I see a lot of people with adrenal stress, which causes weight loss issues anyway, cortisol issues if you're working out on an empty stomach, if you're doing weight training or cardio HIIT training. So what do you eat if you're working out early in the morning? You could try the butter coffee, but I really love just a little bit of protein and a little bit of fat. So that could be beef jerky and nuts. That could be deli meat, like a couple slices of deli meat and avocado. I know this sounds weird for somebody that's not used to eating non-breakfast foods for breakfast, but you just think what's high protein, what's high fat. And for me, I just do like a boiled egg and a spoonful of almond butter. Just put something in your system. You could do half a layer bar. You could do just a little bit of something. Butter coffee and half a layer bar actually might be really great. Just don't work out on an empty stomach. If you are working out really hard, then you're going to do a post-workout shake, which would be a protein shake and maybe just water or almond milk. I use Pure Wad. You guys will do a giveaway for my challenge with Pure Wad. They're awesome. Okay, I think that was that question. Let me pull up my Facebook. What is best for body composition? Either of these are going to be great for body composition. If you don't digest fats well, so if your stomach and your digestion gets really off because you eat high fats, so say you start eating this meal plan and your stomach hurts, or you're running to the bathroom, or you're not going to the bathroom, then I would add in a little bit more carb and try the non-keto, or try the keto, the non-keto approach, the more zone approach. But that's kind of the only reason I would have you do it, unless you're a really active person, or you just don't do well with high fat. Either one is you're gonna do great with body composition stuff. I see more results with ketogenic, but that's just because it works really well. They call it effortless weight loss because you're cutting out a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of sugars, and you're allowing your body to burn fat as fuel, and that's so awesome. It feels really good. It takes a while to adjust and it's hard. So some of my tricks and tips when I'm cutting sugar, just so you know, I can cut sugar all day, but cutting wine is my hardest thing. And so when I'm cutting sugar or wine, I just really don't put it in front of me. So I get it out of my house. I make sure that I don't see it. I make sure people in my life know I'm doing it and are supportive of it, because the worst thing is making, not going out and people just making you feel a little bit bad about it, or you feeling bad about it because you're eating a certain way. Just making sure that people you surround yourself with understand what's going on, that you're making this big decision to change your life and your health and your wellness, and make sure they're supportive of it. One of the biggest things is making sure you're not under eating. And so one thing that I see is people like, oh, I'm just gonna eat vegetables and protein, and then they come home and they eat the whole kitchen. And I've done this before because I didn't have enough good fats earlier in my day to fill me up. And so I was really good at breakfast and really good at lunch, and then I was starving at dinner and I just couldn't eat enough. And this is the same if you don't eat. Even if you're not hungry, if you're not eating breakfast or lunch, it's a little different when you're on a ketogenic diet, because that's kind of good for your body to be in a fasted state. But if you're constantly not eating and then all of a sudden you feel like you're craving sugar really bad, start eating consistently. Make yourself eat a little bit more, really focusing on good proteins at every single meal and making sure you're getting good fats at every meal. Those will help with the sugar cravings. It's kind of incredible what my mom has this great story. She's a perfect example because I've always said that